Everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Adorkable Rachel, and it's time once again for another episode of Rachel Reviews, so let's just hop into it. So, I remember when this film first came out, and there was actually a lot riding on it because the Marvel Cinematic Universe was thriving, the Dark Knight trilogy had just concluded, and we weren't really expecting this, but I think that this movie kind of ended up being a combination of both of those franchises. And if you don't believe me, they actually brought in Christopher Nolan to produce the film after he was done with The Dark Knight Rises. Honestly, I could probably go on forever about this film and what does work and what really does not work, but I will do my best to keep it condensed. Basically, this film was meant to be a reboot of the Superman franchise, and that's kind of a no-brainer because it does start with Kal-El and where he came from and how he came to Earth and how he becomes Superman. But in the prologue alone, I could probably point out the biggest problems of this film. There's a lot of exposition thrown at us, barely any of it is explained, and also it goes on way too long. From the start of the film to when Kal-El finally reaches Earth, it's not just the destruction of Krypton that we establish. Oh no! There's also a mutiny that starts, and there's all these accusations about MacGuffins being stolen, plus a lot of flying from one place to another. Oh my god, it is such a mess. I'm really sorry to say this, I know I'm a horrible person, but during that whole sequence, I actually got kinda anxious and was really ready for the planet to blow up already because it was just going on forever. And much later, I remember looking at the time clock after realizing this movie had been going on for a long time, and like 2 hours had gone by and we were still nowhere close to the ending. And at that point, we had like 4 climaxes. Why is this movie still going? But apart from all of those big problems, God, there is a lot wrong with this movie. There's also all of that product placement in the movie that's pretty much on the Michael Bay level of selling out, and the insanely obvious 9/11 imagery that you either shut down or pretty much roll your eyes at. And there's also all of those camera zooms that they do dozens and dozens of times in the movie, and you know what? If they had done them a few times, that would have been okay, but seriously, they had like one gimmick and they just kept using it and it got so annoying. Also, there's the fact that Lois Lane right away finds out that Clark Kent is Superman. What? How? Why is this a thing? Also, something really annoying, pretty much whenever someone dies in this movie, they act like they're not in the least bit of pain. Seriously, just about everyone that dies is like aware it's coming and just completely accepts it. Cause that's how we roll in this universe. It's actually kind of psychologically messed up. And because of that alone, I can't get into the drama of the moment. And that can work sometimes, like when Kal-El's mother goes, that's fine, I can go with it, but I'm not really buying it when everyone just poetically takes it in the movie. That's not how death works, guys. God, this movie's pretentious. Now here's the thing, most of what I just named probably would not have been that big of an issue if the film had actually been fun and engaging and had something worthwhile to tell us. But I'm sorry, it barely does any of that. With all the exposition and themes that's thrown at you throughout the movie, surprisingly, barely any of it is fully explored. For example, when Clark's adopted dad is talking to him about how the world is not ready for his superpowers, he also tells him that one day he will save everybody. Okay, so this is gonna be a story about how society adapts to his existence, right? No. It's not even about that at all. It is an origin story about Superman, sure, but we never see society's point of view, except for when they're like yelling and screaming about all the destruction. Also, Superman does not save everybody, so that again could have been interesting to explore, but that made the foreshadowing really stupid and pointless. Instead of going further into the themes that are presented to us, we just get a lot of fighting and punching from Superman and Zod like they're third graders. Over and over and over again. And I don't get it, because this was not the fun and hopeful film that I was hoping for. I mean, for goodness sake, it's Superman. This is supposed to be based on the comics that went, look, it's a bird, it's a plane, oh, it's Superman. But no, instead we we get, I'm Superman and I'm trying to be Batman, but with superpowers. I mean, you can be dramatic, that's fine, but you have to still feel like you're having a good time while watching this movie. And I'm sorry, but it's really hard to do that when there's inconsistencies and contradictions, and it just feels like it's dragging on forever, and there's very little substance to it. Now, obviously, I've gone on a little bit of a rant here explaining the Clip Notes version of a lot of stuff that's wrong with this movie, but yeah, there's some stuff I still like in it. I actually do like a lot of the performances. I mean, Henry Cavill was great as Clark / Kal-El / Superman. I liked that his character did feel very human, and if it weren't for the horrible script and themes, I could have gone along with it. He really does feel like someone who's struggling with his identity and what to do with his powers, even though he does have a lot of brooding moments. I also liked Amy Adams as the headstrong Lois Lane, and also Russell Crowe as Jor-El was pretty good. But Michael Shannon, he was a little weird. For most of his performance, he'd go from being kinda subtle, like you know he has something on his mind, but then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's like, I will find him! Jeez. And I get that they were probably going for a villain who just had a lot of pent-up rage, but it kind of came off more as like yelly and whiny more than just like angry. Anyway, back to the positives. As much as I bitched about the action sequences going on for too long, they still did have their moments. They did, and they could be really creative and even a little intense at times. And also, even if a lot of the shots looked like they had a lot of really fake CGI in it, it was still shot really nice. Look, I'm gonna be really straight with you. I'm not that big a fan of Superman. I've just never really found his character that interesting. He doesn't seem to have a whole lot of flaws to him. But that has nothing to do with why I don't like this movie. And if you are a Superman fan, I can understand why you like it. You like that Superman has a lot on his plate, and it's a new way of looking at how he deals with his powers, and he has a lot of inner conflicts about what's right and what's wrong. I get it, I totally do. But for me, so much of what I just named really gets in the way of all that, and it unfortunately makes it really hard for me and a lot of other fans out there to really have a deep connection with this film. So if you're not already a fan of Superman, unfortunately, I don't think this is gonna persuade you. So those are my thoughts on the very first film in the DC Extended Universe franchise. So now I wanna know, what did you guys honestly think of this movie? Do you like it? Do you connect with it? Do you not like it? Are there other gripes that you have with it? Also, let me know, if you're a Superman fan, which is your absolute favorite Superman anything out there? TV show, movie, comic, whatever, which is your favorite representation of the Man of Steel? Well, go ahead and leave your comments below. Be sure to like and share. And if you're new and like what you saw here, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and also be sure to hit the little bell button down there to get notified when new stuff comes out, because I make new videos every week. Bye, Adorkable Buddies, I'll see you soon.